Alrighty, kiddos. So here we have a review that we've already worked on previously in class. So you should already be familiar with how to solve such questions. But the purpose of this is just to get us acclimated or used to the new platform that I will be incorporating into some of our lessons as we adapt to this new learning environment that we have. Alrighty, so here we go. So they're telling us that Mary bought 6 packets of tomato seeds. Each packet contained 24 seeds. She planted 1 packet of the seeds and 15 of those seeds sprouted. Now they're asking us, which statement about the seeds in the remaining packets is best supported by this information? All right, so here, ladies and gents, they've given us kind of a lot of information. I want you to go ahead and solve it, and I want you guys to set it up, solve it, and input your answer. Then once you guys input your answer, we will go over it. Alrighty. So for this problem, I would suggest you all solve it the following way. Because in math, there's a lot of ways of solving it, but this is just one of the ways that I suggest you all solve it. Using proportion. Here, we're going to be comparing seeds that sprouted in comparison to the ones or to the total number of seeds. So here they tell us some information, well, a lot of information actually. Out of 1 packet that contains a total of 24 seeds, we know that of those 24 seeds, not all of them sprouted. 15 of them sprouted. So if that's the case, if 15 out of 24, which are in 1 packet, sprouted, if we have a total of 6 packets with approximately 24 seeds each, that would mean that there will be a total of 144 seeds, and we could expect an X amount of those to sprout. Here, y'all cross multiply and y'all can solve. But if you guys look at this first ratio that we have here, they're both divisible by 3. You guys could divide by 3, which make it, you would have smaller numbers to work with, which would eliminate which would decrease the amount of chances of error. Anyways, when y'all cross multiply, this is what you guys get, which means that we would have approximately 90 seeds that would sprout. So our answer there would be letter B. All right, so moving on to the next one. Here, now they're telling us that triangle ABC is similar to triangle FGH. That's important, ladies and gentlemen. The keyword here is similar. You all need to recall the attributes of similar shapes. All right, so now they're asking us that, what is the value of X in centimeters? All right, so here, recall, the first 2 letters that come first here is in triangle ABC is AB, which means that AB corresponds with the first 2 letters there are FG, or segment FG. So here we have, so those are corresponding sides. Next, we have BC, which corresponds to GH. Those are the corresponding sides, ladies and gentlemen. And now we can set them up as a proportion to solve them. I'm going to identify this one here as a small one, and this one here is the big one. So here, let's set this up here. So here we have the small one over the big one, or the large one. The corresponding sides, which is what we need to start off with to solve it. On the small one, the corresponding side that they've given us a dimension for is 9 on segment AB. On the large one, the corresponding side is 13 5/10, or 13.5. So we set it equal to, now they're asking us to solve for X, which happens to correspond with BC. So on the small one, the corresponding side to the missing side is 15 to X. And now we have everything that we need to cross multiply and solve for the missing side length. All right, so here, once we cross multiply and solve for X, we identify that the missing side length there measures 22.5. And as you all are going through these questions, think about if they're feasible or reasonable, may I say. Looking at our answer choices here, are there any answers that we could have eliminated? I mean, could it measure 8? Because if this is 15, I mean, could that be any value less than 15? No. So we could have eliminated G and H. Now we're left with between F and J. And just in case we have those moments like, oh gosh, what do I do? That might have helped you all out. Okay. All right, number 3. I'd like for y'all to go ahead and solve it and input your answer, please. All right, so here, ladies and gentlemen, the answer is letter C. If y'all use a distributive property, which y'all don't really need to use a distributive property. I mean, that's just one way, of solving it. You guys could have just substituted x wherever you have an x with 14, and y'all could have solved it that way as well. That would have worked. But I use a distributive property in this situation. So what I did here, 2 times x is 2x. 2 times negative 3 is negative 6. And I set it equal to 22. It became a regular 2-step equation. And I solved for it. And I determined that x is equal to 14 in this scenario. So the correct answer is letter C. Alrighty. Number 4. I know you all recall this one here, so I'd like for you to go ahead and solve it, please. Alrighty, so here, ladies and gentlemen, the correct answer is letter F. What I did here, I just went ahead and solved, I broke it apart, so to say, and I solved for the area of this first section that we are allowed to dig, which is, they give us dimensions right there, 14 by 17, which you multiply the base times the height, which is 238. The reason I said base and height is because that's what you have on your reference sheet. Y'all can use length times width. And then this last little section over here, ladies and gentlemen, which is, because if all of this is 22 feet, and this right here is 14, 3, and 3, that means that this section from right here is 20 feet. Then you subtract the total distance, or length, which is 22 feet, minus 20 feet, and you get the 2 feet. And you multiply it times their dimension, which is 17, and you get 34. And you add both of those, and you get 272. Another way y'all could have solved it, ladies and gentlemen, is y'all could have solved for the area of the entire yard, which would be 22 times 17, which would give you a total of 374. Then you subtract the area that you are not allowed to dig in, which is 3 plus 3, which is 6, times 17, which gives you this area right here, 102. You subtract it, and you get the same answer, 272. But either way would work, ladies and gentlemen. Either way would work. All right, so next, number 5. I'd like for you to please go ahead and solve that one. Alrighty, so here, ladies and gentlemen, you should have had letter A as your answer, $3.56. Please make sure y'all read the questions carefully. Sometimes y'all rush for nothing. You have 4 hours during this testing. And it's not only during this testing. You guys are going to have like hours to test on most every major assessment. Your SATs, your ACTs. Even me as a teacher, when I took my teacher test to become a teacher, I had hours. I think it was 6 hours, I believe. 4 or 6 hours, something like that. But I mean, you guys will always have hours. Just take your time. It's better to be accurate than to be fast. But anyways, here, remember, she ordered 2 eggs, which if each egg is $1.69 times 2 is a total of $3.38. She had 1 slice of bacon, 1 glass of OJ, and don't forget the tax, ladies and gentlemen, because every answer here has, there's a way of reaching that answer. So just please make sure that you guys highlight and use a lot of strategies, please. Take your time as well. So here should be $3.56. Alrighty, so here we have box plots. Data analysis, so to say. I'd like for you to please go ahead and solve it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so here the correct answer is letter H. Please keep in mind, whenever you guys have box and whisker plots, I know it's a pain in the butt to create them. Well, at first it is, but once you get the hang of it, you get the hang of it. But anyways, my suggestion whenever you all are solving these types of questions is to start off by labeling the box and whisker plot. Remember, the whisker, or the small, or I guess the starting point is called your minimum or your lower extreme. Then it's quartile 1, your median, quartile 3, and then you have your maximum or your upper extreme. All right, and don't forget your inner quartile range, often referred to as your your IQR, is determined by Q3 minus Q1, okay? And remember, the range is the difference between the smallest number, or the smallest value, and the largest value. You subtract the two and that gives you your range. The spread is just like from the smallest value to the largest value. Let's say for farm X, your spread would be from 4 to 35. It's kind of similar to your range, but just not subtracting. Just telling, okay, you know what, the smallest number that we had was, 4. The largest number that we had was 35. All right. But here, if you guys compare your medians here, that's why H is the answer. Because see here, your median for farm X is 17, and the median for farm Y is 18, which is greater than 17. So therefore, that's why the answer is letter H. Alrighty, so here we have 7 and 8. I'd like for y'all to go ahead and please solve those two. Or solve 7 first. Alrighty, kiddos. So here, for number 7, the answer is D. Just make sure you guys are reading the question carefully and highlighting, underlining keywords there. They telling us that Lawrence, he's starting off with 200 cards. Because that's what his dad gave him. That's what he's starting off with. But what is he doing to that? Is he giving them away? Or is he adding to them? Because those are key questions. Because sometimes I'm going to give you guys scenarios where he's going to be giving so many away, every day or every week. Or, just different scenarios. But here, the keyword here, which I forgot to highlight, is purchase. When you purchase something, are you subtracting? Well, from your money, yes. But he's purchasing the baseball cards, and that's what we're discussing here. So here, you're not going to be subtracting. You're going to be adding them. And he's purchasing 25 every week. So here's how many he's purchasing and the number of weeks. And the keyword here is also will have more than. So whatever he has and is purchasing every week has to be more than 750 baseball cards. So that's why the correct answer here is letter D. But the state of Texas expects you all to be fluent in, or I guess knowing that they could set it up many ways. This is just one way of setting it up. They could have done it vice versa. They could have put 750 is less than 200 that he started off with, plus the 25 that he's adding every week. I mean, either way, they're the same thing, but the state of Texas expects you all to be fluent in either one of those ways. All right, so number 8, I'd like for you to go ahead and solve that one as well, please. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so for number 8, you should have had an answer, or your answer should have been letter G. All right, so here, there's some keywords here that tell us what we're going to be doing. First of all, we know it's a circle because it tells us it's circular. And they're giving us the radius as well. But the thing is here, they didn't tell you guys specifically, or, they didn't tell you guys that they're asking you guys for the circumference. They expect you all to know that whenever you all are working with a distance around a circle, you're working with a circumference. So here there's 2 formulas we could have utilized. Y'all could have utilized the first one, which is circumference equals 2 times pi times radius, or circumference equals pi times diameter. Either one would yield the same answer, the correct answer, but there's just, depending on the information they give you guys, one might be better than the other. I mean, if the more you guys practice with math, the easier it gets, and y'all could just skip ahead and go use this one. But math is challenging. So, but anyways, here they're giving us the radius. So my suggestion is for y'all to use the first one, because that one incorporates the radius. So just plug in all the values here. Circumference equals 2 times pi, which is 3.14, times the radius, which is 2.5. I multiplied 2.5 times 2, which I got 5, multiplied times 3.14, and got 15.7 or 15 7/10. So that is the circumference. Alrighty, so hopefully that helped you out, ladies and gentlemen. When you guys are answering the following questions, try to be honest and truthful, and try to be mature if you can, because I'm concerned about you guys' well-being and safety and health and all that. So, but I'm also curious about you guys' how this has influenced or changed your guys' views on different things. But I hope you all stay healthy and safe.